Hello and welcome again to the monthly book series. The first book that I started with is Stealing Fire. This has been recommended to me by Tim Denning about a year ago, and it was recommended by Variku sometime this year. He posted about it in his newsletter. I know it's great, but you can see a bookmark here. I tried really hard to read it, but I just could not. Or maybe it's one of those books with so much information that I prefer reading on Kindle, which I can highlight and everything, but I just wasn't able to read it. It didn't interest me. And after reading about 75 pages, I let it go. I will continue it and I will pick it up another time if it's there in my destiny to read it. Okay, that's too filmy. But yeah, it just didn't fit the boat. It was way too much information and I wasn't enjoying it. So check the book out. I'm sure it's amazing if these two people are recommending it. I will try to read it again. Maybe I'll buy it on Kindle because that'll be easier for me to read it. But for now, it didn't fit the boat. And also, if there's something I can recommend, is that don't feel guilty about leaving books aside, because your time is precious and your information diet is really precious as well. So if it's not fitting you right now, it's okay to let it go, because it's better than pushing yourself to finish something you are not learning from and not enjoying. The second book I read was The Last Lecture. This has been in my list for so long, for a few years. And you know, it's one of those books that you feel, oh, I'm just gonna get it and I'll just get it in a bit. And I just did not. And then I bought this and my grandmom read it. So I got my hands on it and it's so beautiful. It's really good. It's written by Randy Pausch, who actually passed away in his 40s because of cancer, and basically about all his life lessons that he has learned. And you know, a lot of it are not just wisdom lessons. They directly relate to the lessons you can use in your career. And almost every lesson is related to like improving your career. I think everyone should read this book. It will give you perspective about life and how you look at life so differently when you know you're about to die. I know that's dark, but it's a very easy read as well. Most of you would be able to finish it in a few hours or a few days, because it's a very easy flowing read and a beautiful book, and it's not very big either. The Almanac of Naval Ravikant. I've actually read this for the second time. The first time I read the book, it wasn't even a paperback book. It was only available online, to download for free, because the author who wrote it, Eric, he actually compiled all of his lessons and he wanted the world to read it for free, but now it's become pretty famous. I think I read it a year or 2 years ago, I don't remember, but I read it on my Kindle. I really enjoy Naval's content. I think he has such a wise view of life and making money and just happiness that, again, I think everyone should read this book. There is something everyone can learn from this book. There's a perspective everyone can gain from this book. So yeah, I only read 2 books this month. Last month, in October 2023. I will come back to you next month this time and tell you what I read in November. And meanwhile, I really hope that you take our time to pick up The Last Lecture and the Almanac of Naval Ravikant, because they're 2 such brilliant books, which again, I'm saying I think everyone should read. I don't think it's a flex to read too many books a month. What matters more is that you enjoy what you read, you absorb it, you learn from it, and hopefully you can apply it. Because just reading for the heck of flexing, you can also just speed read and not understand anything and tell the world you're reading. But yeah, do it for yourself. Even if you read 1 book in 2 months, that's better than reading 4 books a month and not even enjoying the process, or just doing it for some external validation. So yes, happy reading.